me and things of that nature. I wanted to come in a little bit earlier, but I was trying to collect my thoughts and really, just get it together. So now I may be interrupted from time to time because folks are going to be coming in wanting keys and all this other shit. So y'all know how it is been at the donut factory. But in any event, let me say hello to all of you. Thank you for coming in with me. Whether you're watching it live as I'm doing it or whether you're catching it in the archives, I'm going to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, honey. For those of you who are brand new to me and don't know who I am, I'm going to introduce myself. I am Demetrius Big Meach Taylor, and right now you are dishing tea, darlings, with a Big Meach right here on YouTube Live, or if you're catching it on any other particular medium, because I will be sharing this on Facebook and Instagram and all this other jazz. However, there's a few things that I want to come to you with because I have not posted in a couple of minutes or whatever. I'm, child, just trying to keep my thoughts and stuff together and not get bombarded with a couple of things. So, thank you. All right, be careful out there. And especially now in this particular time, the world is at a standstill yet again. Particularly Detroit, honey. I know all of you children in my hometown. We're at a standstill. Now, I just left Detroit last weekend. I got back home. I was there last weekend. Okay, got home Monday from an exciting weekend. A rather interesting weekend on top of it. My alter ego, honey, we had to go out and throw on some hair. A little bit of paint, honey. Go out here and entertain the children, honey. If go to my YouTube page and you'll see Samantha Stevens Divinity doing her thing, honey. Okay. So having said all that, before we go any further, if you're new to the channel or whatever, I'm going to ask, honey, that you click and subscribe. That way you can get all the updates and carry it on when I'm here. Or when I'm posting something and carrying on. Follow me on all of my social media platforms, honey. I am Big Meach, B-I-G, new word, capital M-E-A-C-H. Okay, so that's here. You may see me Big Meach 1. You may see me Big Meach 7109 on Instagram. On Facebook, it's just Big Meach, honey. Now, I have a couple of pages, so just lock them all. Because I have a few, honey. When Facebook want to put me in jail, child, I got a secondary page, but I'll hit y'all up to that when it happens. But in the meantime and in between time, let's get into this real cutely and things. As I stated before, my alter ego, Miss Samantha Stevens Divinity. Yes, for those of you who did not know, I don't share this a lot because it puts a bad taste in some people's mouths. But hell, I'm almost 50, and at this particular point, I really don't give a damn. But yes, okay. See, this is why I hate doing this here because this thing will black out. But yeah, I will do my little RuPaul thing from time to time. Samantha has been on hiatus for quite some time because since I've relocated here to Atlanta. The scene down here does not do me well because I wasn't a name that the girls down here knew. And the scene down here, the ones who are very, successful down here, they're the contest girls. And, I don't do all that contest kind of stuff or whatever. I just like to entertain the troops and the people or whatever. So I'm going to say that again. This damn thing keep buffering and reconnecting. But Miss Michigan Gay World Elite is the crown that Samantha was recently appointed in Battle Creek, Michigan last weekend, August 10th and 11th of 2018. We had the newcomer, the amateur, and the professional, the Miss Michigan Gay World. So I was appointed the title of Miss Michigan Gay World Elite.
27. There's the tail front drive. All clear this time.
Copy that. Pointed that I was there to help entertain and also to judge the pageant. And it was a wonderful pageantry system, I believe. And I should have used my tree. I can still see me. Oh, that's cute. So we were able to do all that. And so I got all that stuff done. But then coming home, as we all are now doing, we are celebrating the life of the Queen of Soul, Miss Aretha Franklin, and it's kind of hit me a little that way because Aretha was one of my characters. I do her and I do Jennifer Holliday as lookalikes. And yes, believe it or not, I could get this face to look like Aretha's, or at least some semblance thereof, and also Jennifer Holliday. And I never got an opportunity to meet Aretha, not face to face. However, she has seen me. She has requested to see my pictures. We have a mutual friend, and hey, what's going on? And in that request, she that I had a look that she preferred, and I wasn't tarnishing her name and ruining her image and things of that nature. So I'm very, very, very grateful that she knew of me, or of Samantha Stewart's divinity, and that will forever go down into my memory banks and carried on because she actually requested those pictures, child. I gagged. I wish I had had an opportunity to meet her because with the radio show Dishing Tea with Big Meach, I wanted to interview her and hopefully had an opportunity to have gotten some things cleared up or understood or whatever. But as we celebrate her life and the legacy that she's left behind musically, and striving with the world, honey, how she has been like just the soundtrack for the civil rights movement. She has sang for everybody. You know, she as the Queen of Soul, honey, she's been amongst the dignitaries. You know, she's been the preferred singer for the dignitaries. You know, kings and queens, and she sang for the Pope, and she sang at their funeral. She sang at Mahalia Jackson's funeral. She sang at Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s funeral. I believe she sang at Malcolm X's funeral. You know, she has just been a part of the civil rights movement. And many of us are saying that we have not known a moment where our lives have not been intertwined with an Aretha Franklin song somewhere along the line. Many of you know that, her life and times were very turbulent and things of that nature. But at the same time, most of the greats come from excessive pain and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm going to say mourn the loss. I'm just going to say as we celebrate her passing and as we celebrate her transition to the next expression of life, I want to let it be known publicly, that I feel like I've lost an aunt. When I got the news very early that morning, Gayle King had just announced it on the television, and that was the first phone call that I had gotten on that morning. And then my phone started ringing. Everybody was like, you okay? You okay? You okay? And then I had to reach out to a couple of people to make sure that they were okay because I knew this was going to be a hard hit for them as well. So we're going to just celebrate her. And now that she has become a part of the ancestral world and has gone on to be with Michael and Whitney and James Brown and Sam Cooke and Tina Marie and all just the countless people who we have lost over the time. Natalie Cole, Maurice White from Earth, Wind and Fire, Luther, just to know that she has made a transition, honey. I want to make sure that we celebrate her, and as I continue on to, and go forth in my expression and interpretation and impression of her, we want to make sure that we do her justice. You know what I'm saying? And that we continue on with her legacy and things. Now, those are the good things that we could all say about her, but I'm going to keep it real. Because one of the things that we all know and carrying on is that she has been a very messy woman, honey. You know, with drama and carrying on because it has just been over the years, you know. You know, it's been known she could be a shady ass at times and things of that nature. But, you know, that was who she was. And we celebrate all of her. You know, this girl at that damn beef, you know, her last beef that she went public with this whole shit with Dionne Warwick and carried on was ridiculous. You know, the whole idea, you know, whatever this beef was or whatever the public had between or made, you know, between she and Patti LaBelle, you know, whatever the hell that was or whatever. Yeah, it's you know, we could sit down there, we could chuckle, we could laugh and carry it on. But one of the things is that she was a perfectionist. She was about her business and things of that nature. And we want to make sure that everything is on the up and up with that. I am going to say this, that during the celebration, Fox News and that bullshit that they just sit down there and did with that picture jazz, I am absolutely mortified by that. I am so pissed with that because you could say what you want to say, honey. We could say it was a mistake. We can say it was whatever, honey. I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it. Because this woman she was 76 years young when she left here. She's been singing for what, 50, 60 years. So she has been in the limelight for so long to where not only this her name, she's you could say one name and know who we're talking about. Because there is no other Aretha in music that we know. You know what I'm saying? There is no other Aretha that we know in music. If you say Patti, there's Patti LaBelle, Patti Austin, you know, Patti LuPone, you know, so it wasn't like there's more than one Aretha. But child, Fox done said that, and when I saw the picture, I thought it was you know, a joke. You know, the folks were just making these old silly ass memes and carrying on. But Fox News put that picture up there, and it was a hateful picture of Aretha. I don't know why folks want to put up these old hateful ass pictures. She has a number of pictures out there that are beautiful pictures of her if we want to celebrate her correctly. They put this hateful ass picture up. And then in the background, you got Patti LaBelle in the background. And you talking about some, you know, Aretha Franklin singer 1942 to 2018. And that there was so wrong. It was so disrespectful to Aretha, disrespectful to Patti. And then I just happened to be listening to, and I don't do this often, but I was listening to Charlemagne the God, the YouTube post they put there for his donkey of the day. And he put up there, you know, he made the Fox children the donkey of the day because of that, right? Now, what I did not know is that when he put the audio with it, they sit up there talking about Aretha, and then somebody in the background says, oh, and her pies were lovely. Her pies were so delicious. And I said, her pies were so delicious. I said, child, who in the fuck is up in here? Aretha didn't have no pies on the market. And I'm sure these children, honey, were not personal friends of hers to where they were over at her house or been in her parties or whatever, you know, for them to have tasted her home cooking. These bitches didn't know who she was. I was like, wait a minute, hold on, honey, wait. Y'all not gonna sit down here and give me the whole idea of y'all don't know who the hell you talking about bullshit. And this woman has just been everything to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I was and still am completely upset with that. I'm so upset with that. I have no clue as to how to even express that. And they need to be ashamed of them damn selves. And everything about Fox News and what folks keep saying about them being, I'm not going to call this a racist movement and say that they are racist. But what I am going to say was that this is race-ish. Okay, this is on that borderline shit. You're not going to sit down here and tell me that y'all sit up there and play the, oh, they all look alike game bullshit. And because Aretha and Patti were both, you know, are both fantastic, dynamic, you know, cutthroat, you know, singers and carrying on, the singers, okay, that they are, y'all not gonna tell me y'all don't know the difference between the two of them. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna do that. And I refuse to believe that these children, honey, is gonna say that that was a mistake. Now listen, I put up on my Facebook page their apology. They were sitting up there trying to say that, oh, they apologized for that. What they were trying to do was post a. Okay, yeah, this thing keep going. All right, I'm back. I keep telling you this thing keep cutting off. They were saying that, oh, we wanted to use a picture with she and Patti LaBelle singing together, but Aretha's picture was obstructed and things. I said, bitch, stop. The picture that y'all used was the picture from the women rock concert that they did at the White House. That was the same picture, or that picture there, with Patty was singing "Over the Rainbow," where she had the black with the green coat on. That was that same year that Aretha shaded Patty when she came out, and you know Patty was trying to say hi to her, and Aretha did her little dirge around Miss Patty, wouldn't shake her hand and all that shit. It's that same year, so that picture came from there. Patty and Aretha were never on the same stage at the same time in that particular picture. Aretha came out, they had this whole big old do-up, and Aretha was introduced independently. She never came on stage to sing with the other girls like everybody else did. She never did that. She was the headliner, I guess, So Fox sit up there and tried to use that particular picture of Patty, and no, that's the no-go. And that was bullshit. That's what that was. And I want to tell them that was fucking bullshit, and they know it, and they need to be ashamed themselves for that. They need to be fucking ashamed. Now they sent out this grand old apology, but with this apology, honey, I feel they should apologize to Patti LaBelle as well, because I'm looking at it from this particular standpoint. We've already lost one. And like I said, I feel like I've lost my auntie. Child, you're not gonna sit down there and let me lose my mama too. Now see, Patty is my entertainment mama. And honey, why would you sit down there and put that out there like that? That was Why would you put that out there, that energy out there like that? All on a mistake. And where were the folk who know these folks? And I'm gonna say it just like this, where were the black folk up in there who could sit down there and tell you, bitch, this is wrong. That ain't the right picture. These ain't the right people. Where were those folks at, huh? To sit down there and correct that before that went on the air. Huh? I have no idea, because that was wrong. That was wrong as two left shoes on the right foot, honey. That was not right, not right, and I am completely upset about that, and they need to know that I'm upset about that. That was bullshit. Okay? So, all right, we done said all that, and I'm glad that I'm not at home right now, because even though I would have loved to been there to be a part of the homegoing ceremonies and carrying on, this is going to be fucking ridiculous. Okay? Now, if you have not heard, the funeral and stuff is going to be at Greater Grace Cathedral, aka the city of David. That just tickles me every time I say it. But that's where they're going to hold the funeral, because I think Greater Grace seats like about 5,000 people or something like that, whatever it is. But in the meantime and in between time, honey, I'm glad that I'm not there, because, child, when they hosted Rosa Parks' funeral there in Detroit, they had all these dignitaries that came in and things, and everybody came in. Rosa Parks' funeral was 7 fucking hours long. That makes no sense. 7 hours long. And trust me, I get it. I understand. Everybody wanted to say something. Everybody felt that they needed to be on, whoever put that together, they wanted all these different people to be on program. And this, that, and other. 7 hours. long. To where when they did the funeral processional, child, the street lights had come on. They would ride down the street in the dark. And mind you, because it was a funeral processional, you don't take the freeways. They go through the streets of Detroit. That damn light, that held up traffic for so long. It was crazy. And I was like, well, damn, it's like 7, 8 o'clock at night, and y'all still trying to get to the cemetery? Are you crazy? Now, can y'all imagine? That was Rosa Parks. Now, this is going to have that same kind of fervor with Aretha. Because not only does she have dignitaries, we got all these different presidents that she sang for that's still alive. We got, I don't know who's coming from overseas or whatever. We don't know if the Pope is coming. We don't know who's all coming. We just know that this is going to be a completely high-profile funeral. Okay? Which means it's going to be security everywhere. They probably going to send in the fucking National Guards and all this old bullshit. But wow, who gonna sing? Who ain't gonna sing? You know what I'm saying? What? Okay. And the even sadder thing about it is that a lot of folks who claim that they're gonna go to the funeral are not gonna go to the funeral to mourn this woman or to celebrate her life. They want to be amongst the dignitaries and amongst the celebrities that's going to be there. Okay, now we just gonna keep that motherfucking real. Y'all gonna go so y'all can say, oh, I saw so-and-so and oh, so-and-so was there. So that y'all can feel y'all in the mix. And I get it, okay? Because it's an opportunity for you to see all that. Bad timing, wrong sense of flavor or whatever. Mm-mm. I think what ought to happen is that there needs to be a private funeral because we all want to be there and carrying on. I think all the dignitaries and celebrities should do a memorial service and do a great big old huge concert of some sort. I already know it's going to be televised because you talking about Aretha. Remember what they did with Luther? Luther was simulcast on the radio. And I think somebody had it on television as well. So it's not like, that's not going to be televised, child. It's going to be. So now it becomes what is going to come, that's just going to be a fiasco, okay? Detroit is on fucking lockdown. All the people, honey, who can make money, they already trying to make money. For those who had Aretha Franklin records, I know down here in Atlanta, a lot of the record stores that still got wax or whatever, they done sit up there and put on the news, child. If you're trying to find her records, you better go get them now because they're selling out and they all the collector's items and stuff. This is about to be, just that. And I can't be mad at a business owner or whatever because it's an opportunity at the same time for those who are seeking to do this. See, this is going to be where all the T-shirt makers are going to come out and get you a commemorative Aretha T-shirt and all that old shit. It's going to be one of those kind of things. And I'm just saddened by it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So let's look at this from that particular perspective. So I want to say that as and echoing the sentiments that many folks are saying, Aretha's music is timeless. It lives on. It speaks forever. It's going to do what it's going to do. And like the greats, like all of the greats, there's something for everybody in her music. You know what I'm saying? There's something for everybody. There's something there. One of my favorite songs is Mr. DJ. Hang on in there. Take 5 for the DJ. That's one of my favorites. It's an up-tempo song or whatever. A lot of folks, they go for the ballads and carrying on, which are Mr. DJ is one of my ultimate all-time favorite songs by Aretha. Hold on. That's a copy. So, we're looking at that from this particular perspective. And I just feel like my auntie has just been, we just lost a great, one of the greats. So my heart is kind of heavy, as we process it down or whatever. I have moments to where I don't know whether I want to cry or jump for joy, and carry on because she's out of her pain and all of that. She doesn't have to be secretive anymore, with struggling with all of that. It becomes sad because it seemed like the entire family outside of her father was killed, but it seemed like all the siblings and stuff, they all passed from cancer. And I know there's probably a nightmare that done became a reality for the family and things. So, we want to hold them up in your positive thoughts and carrying on. If you're a prayer, okay, hold them up in your prayers. If you're a praise warrior, I don't send up prayers anymore. I praise. I send up praise reports because it is my praise report that the family is able to navigate their way through this in the best light possible. And in the time that is given, that the family understands that it is okay for them to mourn, however long they mourn, and that they understand that it's all right. It is all right for however they feel. It is my praise report that all of the business would be handled without any rigmarole and carrying on, that the press is not going to sit down there and start releasing all of these negative things about the family as they process. That's my praise report. However, it is also my praise report that as information comes out, and it will, because you got folks who are just going to be messy and want to start up dirt and shit, that they get it together and just be respectful of who she is. You know what I'm saying? And that they do not tarnish her reputation. So those are my praise reports for Aretha. I'm going to be doing some stuff later that will continue on the celebration of her life and things of that nature. I know 2 albums that I want to be playing constantly because Luther produced them. That's the Jump to It albums and the Get It Right album. Those 2 albums Luther produced, and he's in the background on that and carrying on. And also there's a song that they did called Doctor's Orders where they did a duet together. So those will be the stuff that I play in regular rotation because both of them have passed on. And also I want to do It Isn't, It Wasn't, and Ain't Never Going to Be, the duet she did with Whitney. So those will be songs that I'm going to keep in my rotation right about now. So that there is that. And it seems as though I'm trying to move on to go into other stuff because I haven't posted in a minute. But it just seems I can't get off of Aretha right now. And I don't believe that I'm actually this far into this and still going on. All right. And David got the keys. So, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, that there is that. What I am going to do, I'm going to invite you guys to post up some of your favorite songs by Aretha. Some of your favorite memories. I started doing this on my Facebook page where I'm posting up some of my favorite live performances that I have enjoyed over the years. I am one to say that I never got a chance to see her. I was like that with Luther. I had never seen Luther live, so nor have I seen Whitney live. I have recordings and things, and I got the concerts that were tape, but I never seen them, been in that space and in that energy. So my loss, my loss. But let's keep that ball rolling and seeing what we can do with celebrating and uplifting Aretha Franklin. Now, she's known as the Queen of Soul. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this out loud. That title can never be given to anybody else. Okay? It should be retired. And I know we have Gladys has been deemed the Empress of Soul. Patty has been deemed the Godmother of Soul. Stephanie Mills has been deemed, she's been called Princess of Soul, and sometimes some folks are calling her the First Lady of R&B. But she's, Stephanie Mills is up in that particular category as well. And so we have different variants of what it is. Uh, but as far as the Queen of Soul, no, we that moniker will not be. Okay, and I know Mary J. Blige has been called the Queen of Hip Hop Soul. However, we will never have a Queen of Soul again. Aretha is just Aretha. So with that, I'm going to end this here because to go into anything else, I think would be um, won't be appropriate on this particular post. I thought I was going to make this longer and go into other points, but I can't seem to rock this. Okay. Uh, Here's some fun facts for you that I found out. I had did some research. I was trying to find out how did she become the Queen of Soul. How did Aretha become the Queen of Soul? And it was said that she did a television show. I think one of her first television appearances, right after her very first solo album, with all of the hits that we know, because she had been recording before and did her classics and her standards and carried on. But right after she did Respect and all of the songs that we know her for, she was introduced on the television show. And I want to say Jack Parr, but somebody, I can't think of the name, but the guy introduced her as Aretha Franklin. And he said, here she is, the Queen of Soul, Miss Aretha Franklin. And ever since then, that just stuck. And then with the caliber of her record sales and the type of singing that she does, coming from the church and always infusing God and that spirit into her music, it just spoke, and she spoke directly to the soul of people. Her music was just the musical architect of the civil rights movement. We as a people, as African Americans or blacks, or at one point we were Negroes. During the civil rights movement, we're still Negroes. Then until we become colored. However, whatever label that we had at the time, her music had just helped to shape uh, the movement. Okay, she used her platform often. I've heard Reverend Al Sharpton say that though she was not a leader in the march, she wasn't one to jump up to go march, but she was one who lended her support behind the scenes. She was one who knew that her singing and her music would help to calm the masses and help to be a voice, or through singing, she was able to get the people to understand how important the cause was and those kinds of things. So not only was she just a singer, but she was also an activist and an advocate for uh, uh, equality and for the empowerment and the improvement of Black lives here in the United States. So, like I said, after the funeral, we can all sit down and process. But right now, uh, Aretha Louise Franklin. Hmm. Now, isn't it interesting? She and Patty have the same middle name, Patricia Louise and Aretha Louise. um, yeah, we've lost a jewel, and we've definitely lost a treasure. But she's part of the ancestral pool now. So on that, for those who are up and coming singers and things of that nature, to be the greats or to be great, you have to study the greats. So it behooves you to, if you don't know who she is or very brand new to her, it would behoove you to go and take a listen to all of her work and educate yourself and empower yourself and allow her music and her legacy to be the soundtrack of your world as well. So on that, I'm going to end it here. And when I come back, I have some other stuff that I want to address and talk about and things of that nature. And again, to Fox News and that old bullshit that you've done, that was absolutely, oh, absolutely heinous as far as I'm concerned. It was heinous. I want to use the word incredulous, but I don't think I'm using it in the right context. But that was absolutely ridiculous, and it was heinous. And you guys, mm-mm. There's no excuse for it. I'm not accepting. Oh, that was a mistake. I'm not accepting that. I am not accepting that. I am not accepting that because y'all been in this business too long. One of the things we keep talking about fake news. Damn it, this damn thing. Oh, good morning. How are you, darling? And who's the Orion? Thank you. Good morning. We keep wanting to talk about fake news and all this other jazz and things of that nature. And you are in the make sure that your facts are correct. You're in the business as journalists to make sure that the information that you say is truthful. And you actually put up a picture. Y'all got pictures that were not right. That it was not right. That was not right. And we're talking about the death of one, and then you go put, that kind of energy on someone else because y'all put up the wrong pictures. Now that don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And then, like I said, after listening to some of the vocal on that, y'all want to sit down there and say, "Oh, her pies were delicious." When I heard that, go look on right here on YouTube or whatever. Go look for the donkey of the day, Charlemagne the God, and he put Fox News on there. It's a 5-minute little piece. Go listen to it. And see for yourself, child, because that there is absolutely ridiculous. It is fucking ridiculous. It is horrendous. And that there, I'm not accepting. I'm sorry. I'm not accepting that because y'all know better. Y'all know better. Y'all know better. Y'all know better. And on that, that just got me. I'm hot about that because that was wrong and that was terrible, absolutely terrible. So on that, let me let you guys go. It's early morning. I know some of you, if you're looking at this live with me, some of you are getting up, about to have your coffee, about to get ready to go to work. It is what? It is 6 o'clock, and I'm off work in another hour. So that there be that. I'll be coming back soon with another posting because I got to get my thoughts together because I got some other things that I'm going to be sharing. And also I want to come in and do my reviews of a couple of things because, now that Iyanla is back, we want to start getting into that as well. So right now, we're celebrating the life of Aretha Louise Franklin. Okay? Aries to her heart, honey, March 25th. Okay. That's on April 17th. April 17th or 16th? April 16th, 2018. So, yeah, damn. Whew, this is hard, honey. I haven't been this heavy since Michael's funeral. I was okay with Whitney. With Whitney passing, it was a shock. But I haven't felt this heavy. Wow. So that be that. So with that being said, honey, finish all of your crumpets, baby, or dunk them, honey. For those of you who are crumpet dunkers in your tea, dunk your crumpets and finish them all, because the tea has been dished, and you've been dishing tea right here with Meach. If you love me, tell a friend and subscribe down here. If you hate me, tell the enemy and tell them to subscribe. But whatever the case may be, everything that I'm doing, honey, any way, shape, style, form, or fashion, everything that I'm doing will move forward. So on that, we're celebrating the life of Aretha Franklin right here and right now with Dishing Tea. I just hate that I did not get a chance to get her on the show. It's another one that got away from me. But it's okay. I'll talk with you guys soon. Bye-bye. All right.